Hey guys, welcome to our channel. We're going to do an additional video explaining more about this, but for now, let's get to some E3 gaming news. Welcome to SMC Gaming. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on our maiden voyage here at SMC Gaming. Please bear with us over the next few videos as we still have all of our gear set up and everything laid out the way we want it to, but you know what, it'll take some time, but we'll get things improved and we'll get rocking with this. First off, we really wanted to jump in with some E3 coverage. We wanted to take a look at Microsoft's Xbox 2019 press conference event and see what they had to say. Right away, we're going to jump into the games section. Now, the running joke here is that Microsoft has no games. At the press conference that was on Sunday, Microsoft showed that they do have games. They have games coming and lots of games coming. They showed over, I think, 60 games on stage, and there were some amazing games shown. Microsoft opened the show with a game from one of their new studios, Obsidian, probably best known for their work on Fallout New Vegas. They showed Outer Worlds, which is a game set to release on October 25th, 2019, which basically is a Fallout clone, if you had to classify it as something. Very post-apocalyptic world, RPG looking action game. This game was in development before Microsoft purchased Obsidian, so it is considered a multi-platform game and will also release on PlayStation 4 and PC. The second game shown was Ninja Theory's newest game. Now, I believe a lot of people were really hoping this would be an in-depth single-player game based on the success of their Hellblade game. However, it's not. It is a multiplayer focused game, and if I had to classify it, I'd have to say it falls in the Overwatch family because it is a hero shooter with unique characters. It's focuses on 4 versus 4 multiplayer with a melee combat focus. There is an alpha scheduled in late June, so hopefully we'll get to see more of this very soon. The game had a nice trailer. It has a very stylistic and unique look to it. It definitely has potential. I just don't think it was what people were expecting from Ninja Theory. Now, we have heard that Ninja Theory does have, say, a couple other teams working on other games. This game was previously in production before Microsoft purchased Ninja Theory last year, so we'll have to see how it works out. I'm sure it's going to be a very successful game. Next up was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Originally scheduled to come out in 2019, the game had a new release date. It was delayed until February 2020. I actually only recently played the original Ori in the last month or so. I really enjoyed it. It's a very stylized platformer, very cool, really interesting. The graphics on this new sequel look insane, and the bosses, the big animals chasing Ori throughout the forest, it looks really cool. It has a lot of potential. I'm sure it's something I'll definitely try, as it is slated to come to Game Pass. After Ori, something that surprised me, Minecraft Dungeons. I was really surprised about this game because I'm not a Minecraft player. However, I have recently, in the last several years, played Diablo 3 for the first time, and so this kind of combines the Minecraft graphics with Diablo 3 gameplay. It is like, say, an RPG 3/4 view down, and it looks like it's 4-player cooperative. It's set for a spring 2020 release. I'm kind of excited about this one, and I think I would really enjoy playing this with a few friends because it definitely has potential to be a really, really fun game. Now we're just going to jump around a bit. The next game I want to talk about was Gears 5. Now, Gears 5 is one of Microsoft's biggest games this year. It's scheduled to come out on September 10th. However, you do have Game Pass. You get to play it 4 days earlier. There's different modes. What they were talking about in this sequence here was a new mode called Escape, and it's basically 3-player co-op. You set a bomb type thing in a base, and you have to escape past the bad guys and get out before either, I guess, they kill you or the bomb goes off. It definitely has potential. Now, the only thing that was kind of weird, they only showed a CGI trailer for this. It would have been really kind of nice to see some actual gameplay, because they have this really cool set that was underneath the stage that they really highlighted, but they didn't really show much of it. It would have been nice to see a bit more of it, but it definitely has potential, and I'm looking forward to playing this. Now, the highlight of the show was Cyberpunk 2077. This game is so highly anticipated. CD Projekt Red is coming off The Witcher 3 success. That game was insanely popular. Cyberpunk 2077, everyone just wants more and more and more details. I just pre-ordered it, so this game looks insane. I'm really looking forward to this, and of course, by now, everyone knows the highlight of the show was when they showed the trailer and your character looked like he sort of rebooted and he came back up, and who helps enough but this digital character that looks like Keanu Reeves. And next thing on stage, this door opens up and who comes out but Keanu Reeves, and the crowd went insane. They went insane for him. He was having a good time. It was like the highlight of, I think, E3, definitely the Microsoft show. It was a great, cool thing to see, and it was a lot of fun. The game has a release date now. It's scheduled for April 16, 2020. I will be counting the days. I so want to play this game, and I can't wait to see more and get into this game. A few other games, we'll go down the list here. There was this really scary game. It started in the forest, and you're running through this forest, and the person has a dog, and you're looking for somebody. For a second, I really thought it was like Alan Wake. I was like, is this an first-person Alan Wake game? And as we go through, the trailer's kind of freaky and stuff like that, and it kind of pulls out, and it's a Blair Witch game. I was like, what, where did this come from? This is like 20 years too late. Very interesting. Not my type of game. I'm sure there's lots of people out there are very interested in this game. We'll have to see how it turns out. Moving on, they show DLC for Forza 4. Now, much continuing the tradition, Forza 3 had the Hot Wheels DLC add-on that was super popular and super fun. Forza 4 has a Lego DLC coming, and it looks totally awesome and super fun. I can't wait to check it out. It's going to be really, like, it totally changes the game. Like, you know, not serious, Arcade Racer makes it even more arcadey by adding the Lego portion to the game. It's going to be really cool. The show, of course, ended with Halo Infinite being shown, which is Microsoft's big game. Of course, you know, everyone loves Halo. It is scheduled for a holiday 2020, set to be release game for the next consoles, and they didn't show any gameplay, which is weird because beforehand there was a huge rumor going around that they potentially would show gameplay on a spec'd out PC so people could get an idea of what next generation video games would look like and play like, but they didn't do that. They went with a CGI trailer. It looked really cool. Once that music starts playing, it gets you pumped. It just brings you back, and you're just like, I need Halo now, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to play it. After Halo, I'll just quickly talk about some third-party games. It was really nice to see like a good selection of third-party games represented on stage. So you know, the Sega logo comes up, and you're seeing this like anime type game come, and like, what is this game? And as it goes, it keeps on. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty badass. And of course, at the end, the logo comes up, and it's actually Phantasy Star Online 2. Set for a spring 2020 release. It looked really interesting. I can remember playing Phantasy Star back in the Dreamcast days. Looks pretty cool. Then you had Namco come up. They had a new game in the Tales series. It's called Tales Arise. It had a really cool trailer. It's just scheduled for a 2020 release as well, sometime in that year. It was nice to see more of Borderlands 3 from 2K. Borderlands looks really, really cool. Of course, it's set for September 13th release. They also highlighted that currently right now, if you go to the Microsoft Store, you can get free DLC for Borderlands 2 that links Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 3. So if you haven't done that yet and you like that game, check that out. I'll try to remember to put a link down in the bottom for that as well. You had From Software and the new Elden Ring game, which is from the Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin. It looked really cool. I think there's a lot of buzz that this is similar to a Dark Souls type game, but with a more like fleshed out story to it or whatever. So it should be really cool. Of course, then you had games from some other Microsoft studios, such as Microsoft Flight Simulator, which highlighted these 4K Google Maps of the world, and the game looked real. Like, it looked real. It looked as real as you could think something could look. It was insane. It looks pretty cool. It'll be in Game Pass, so it's definitely worth checking out. As well, they had Age of Empires 2, a remaster with 4K maps, 4K graphics. It looked really cool. I'd never played that game before. I might check that out when it's released. So it had a whole slew of games. As well, they had a sizzle reel in the middle with a bunch of ID at Xbox games. A lot of cool, interesting games. The 12-minute game looked cool. Some other ones. Basically, they promised that everything from the first party ID at Xbox will be pushed to Game Pass day of the release. I think it was like something like 24 games would be added to Game Pass based on their release. And as well, they added new games to Game Pass for during the presentation, such as Batman Arkham Knight. They added Metro Exodus, which only came out like 3 or 4 months ago. So they've done a really nice job with keeping games up with Game Pass. A lot of games are shown, and it's like 60 games. I say I can't mention them all here because you guys would be bored. You'd go away. But anyways, I'll put the link to the actual presentation in the comments below as well, in case you do want to watch the whole presentation in full. But so many games, and looking forward to so many of them. It's going to be a great time to be an Xbox gamer. Now let's move on to services. So I think everyone can agree that the whole show is kind of a long advertisement for Game Pass, and I'm okay with that. Game Pass is an amazing service. It's a great way for people to get into gaming. It's a low monthly fee, and you get all these crazy games. One of the main things of the show, one of the main segments of the show in the middle, was a sizzle reel of ID at Xbox games. They announced that basically every game they showed as part of the ID at Xbox segment will launch day and date in Game Pass. So, I mean, Game Pass is getting a ton of games. Then as well, throughout the show, they showed, I think, 14 Xbox Game Studio games, which, as we all know, every first-party game that Microsoft releases launches day and date in Game Pass. So Game Pass is a great value. If you're not a member already, I'd highly recommend it. It's something you should definitely be checking out. And of course, they always add games monthly. So it's like Netflix. Of course, now they did make a big announcement that a lot of people were waiting for. They did 2 things, actually. So the first thing was that they announced the PC version of Game Pass, and it's basically the same thing. You have around 100 games on your PC from, I think, 75 developers or publishers they mentioned, and you pay your monthly fee and you get this. You can have it separate, and it's really cool. So it's brand new. A lot of people have been waiting for it. It's been rumored for a while. I think it's in beta right now, and there's a reduced fee you can pay. And of course, the other thing they did mention is the idea of the Ultimate Game Pass, where you have your Xbox Live and your Game Pass subscription slammed together to create one thing, which is Ultimate Game Pass. So now you have your Xbox Live, your Game Pass, and it includes the PC Game Pass in one set fee per month. So you have games coming at you from everywhere, so many games. And then the other thing as well, as part of that, of course, they always do their get this for $1 option. Now the $1 option is really interesting, because if you get it, if you have Xbox Live and Game Pass already, it kind of like morphs it together and creates a new Ultimate Game Pass membership, and it gives you bonus time and converts your old memberships into this new membership, and basically you get everything moving forward for the amount of time that you have it for that $1 upgrade. A bunch of my friends took advantage of this. I was a member of the Insider Group, so I already took advantage of this a couple of months ago or last month or so. So it's a great thing. You should totally check into it. It's on the Microsoft Game Store, and check into that for sure if you have not already upgraded your account. Now, the other service they talked about at the press conference was the idea of Microsoft's xCloud. Now, me personally, I thought they'd talk a lot more about this, because this is an exciting new thing. I guess they're not really ready to unleash it, because they only talked about it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I was expecting them to talk about it for a little longer. Anyways, the big thing they had to announce about this was that starting October, for free, xCloud unlocks your Xbox. Previously, you were able to stream within inside your home network from, like, say, your computer to your Xbox, but now with xCloud, basically your home Xbox turns itself into a server, and you can stream from your home Xbox outside to wherever you are on whatever device you're using, which is pretty cool. I mean, obviously it'll depend on your internet connection and everything, but as a free service, it gives you an extra option to play your games whenever or wherever you want to, which is super cool. Phil also mentioned that there'll be a second stage of this, basically where you'll be able to do the same thing, but instead on your home Xbox, you're gonna get it from the cloud, their cloud services, and be able to play once again wherever, whenever you want, which is super cool. It gives players options. Nobody is looking to replace your Xbox, your hardware. It just gives you an option to wherever you want to be and play. So that's super cool, and I'll be looking forward to that. And I love the fact that at least the first option is free to give players options. Last up, after services, is hardware, of course. One of the things that Microsoft did show, which was sort of surprised but rumored for a while, was the Xbox Elite Wireless Series 2 controller. It's a new addition to the controller. It clocks in at about $180 USD. It includes new things such as adjustable tension thumbsticks, a rubberized grip, redesigned bumpers. It'll have USB-C for charging, and there'll be an internal battery. I mean, a lot of people love these Elite controllers. I wish I had one, but I can't afford one right now. They're super cool, and you know, this releases in November, right in time for holiday. Of course, the last thing on the show is the long-rumored reveal of Xbox's next hardware. Codenamed Project Scarlet, much like the end of the 2017 show where they showed Project Scorpio off, it was pretty much an identical video where they had the creators talking about vaguely about the hardware. Of course, we're going to see, much like the PlayStation 5, an AMD Zen 2 with Navi video, including a next-gen SSD to make things load super quick. They use buzzwords like 120 frames per second and capable of 8K video. And of course, we'll see this holiday 2020. So one would expect that next E3 2020, we will see hardware actually and get a price possibly ready for the release date of that holiday. So I mean, it looks amazing. I for one can't wait to get one. It's going to be a beast of a machine. It was a good way to end the show because the crowd went wild. I think all Xbox fans are looking forward to this system a lot, and it's going to be an amazing system. The show was pretty good overall, I think. So just some final thoughts about the show. I think overall it was pretty good. I don't think it was their best show ever. I do think they did drop the ball a little bit because PlayStation was not around. They really should have took the reins and really drove things home, really went big. They didn't really do that. They played it really safe. I do think that we will see a lot of better surprises in 2020 when the new hardware is ready. I was disappointed we didn't see games that were heavily rumored, such as from Capcom, such as like the Resident Evil 3 remake, or possibly Dino Crisis. Fable 4 was heavily rumored, and we still haven't seen projects such as Perfect Dark, or possibly even a MechAssault. I do think that these three, the last three there I mentioned, will possibly make appearances in the 2020 E3, or possibly another show along the way. I do expect these to be, if not launch games for the new hardware in 2020, or to see them in following years in 2021, or even I guess 2022. They did, I think, while I'm glad they didn't go crazy with gameplay, I do think they should have showed some more gameplay. You really sell games on gameplay. It would have been nice to see gameplay of the Gears 5 new mode they showed. They had a huge set underneath the stage. It looked really cool. They should have showed some gameplay of that game to get people excited for it. I think they dropped it there. They could have did a little better, but it was still a good show. They showed 60 games. That's a lot of games on stage. So I mean, we'll see how it goes, and excited for the rest of E3. So that's the video for today. So what, in your opinion, what was the best thing Microsoft showed today? What game are you so excited about? You know, did Microsoft do a good job? Question mark? I don't know. Let's hear your opinions in the comments down below. Let's start a conversation, get some dialogue going. Hopefully we can talk about this some more. I want to thank everyone for dropping by and taking a listen. This is our first endeavor into this type of thing, so we're hoping to do more and only go up from here. If you did like what you heard, please like, potentially subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. We'll hopefully see you again soon. Thanks.